We have a trade. The Seattle Seahawks have traded with the Washington Commanders to bring in quarterback Sam Howell in exchange for multiple draft picks. Welcome in to this instant reaction edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with the tweet from ESPN's Adam Schefter breaking the news this afternoon. Another QB trade. Commanders are sending last year's starter Sam Howell to the Seahawks in a pick swap per sources. And let's go over those trade details. We'll show it for you on your screen. The Seahawks received Sam Howell, a 2024 fourth-round pick at 102, a 2024 sixth-round pick at 197 in exchange for giving up the 78th overall pick in the third round and the fifth-round pick at 152. So to kind of put this in a nutshell, the Seahawks are trading down from the third to the fourth, from the fifth to the sixth to bring in Sam Howell here. I'll be honest, I hate this. I do not like this trade at all for the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are getting a guy that will not ever be their franchise quarterback. Okay? And they're giving up draft capital to do it. The thing that I've been telling you folks over the last couple of weeks, that for the Seattle Seahawks, what they have to start thinking about is the post-Geno Smith era. And the post-Geno Smith era involves finding a new quarterback through the draft, a young potential franchise quarterback, right? That could be done this year. That could be done next year. Now what this does, what this signals to me, the Seahawks, in all likelihood, are not going to draft a quarterback, that they are delaying the inevitable one more year, and they're settling for an average QB. I don't think he's that great. I don't think he's that bad. He was in a bad situation with the Washington Commanders, so I give him the benefit of the doubt about that. But you traded for a backup quarterback that's not your long-term solution, and you gave up draft capital to do it. Every pick matters. I don't like the idea of moving out of the third round with one of your third-round picks and moving out of the fifth round when you already didn't have a second-round pick. What's your one-word reaction? I'll give you my one-word reaction in just a bit. Want to hear from you guys first. What do you guys think? What is your one word to the Sam Howell trade? Weigh in the comment section. Let us know what you think. Folks, this is why you subscribe to Seattle Seahawks Today. It has been a busy, hectic week on the channel. No one has covered this team like we have here on Seahawks Today. We're live on day one of free agency for 7 hours. Okay? We were live for the first day of the league year on Wednesday. We're live for the Sam Howell trade. We're reacting to it all. We're built different here on Seahawks Today. And we're getting oh so close to 51,000 subscribers. We need your help to do it. If you love your Seattle Seahawks, we are the channel for you. We are your offseason headquarters. You ain't alive, you ain't subscribed to Seahawks Today. Join the family now for the latest happenings in your favorite team. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. My one-word reaction, I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to go with an acronym. WTF. What are we doing? What are we doing? This came out of left field, and it's a trade that doesn't make sense. Here's the reality. You want to know who Sam Howell is? In all honesty, he's a name that actually should be very familiar with Seahawks fans. He's Drew Lock 2.0. That's what he is. He's capable of making big plays, but he is very turnover prone. And this guy gets sacked a lot. Granted, he had a bad O-line in Washington, but he's somebody that holds on the ball too long. I'll say this, like the silver lining when it comes to Sam Howell is that as far as being asked to be a backup, Sam Howell's fine as a backup. If Geno were to go down and get injured, which we've seen, Geno's had some injury problems the last couple of seasons, he could come in for me and win me a game in a spot start, which could be the difference in making the playoffs or not. But I'm sitting here saying to myself, why didn't you just pay for Drew Lock rather than giving up draft capital for Sam Howell if I'm giving up the same guy? That's the head scratcher here in all this. more on Sam Howell, a former fifth-round pick out of North Carolina. Before his final season with the Tar Heels, he was expected to be the number one quarterback in college football. He was a Heisman candidate and had a very disappointing final year with the North Carolina Tar Heels under Mack Brown. It was just simply a disaster, his final year there at North Carolina. Slides all the way from potentially being the number one pick to the fifth round. His record as a starter in the National Football League so far, not great. 5-13, 4-13 this past season there in the offense under Eric Bieniemy there with the Washington Commanders. He led the NFL in interceptions this past year, 21 total to be exact, and he ended up getting benched Week 15 in favor of Jacoby Brissett, who's another backup himself. The numbers from Sam Howell this past season: a completion percentage around 63%, just over 232 yards per game, had a total of 21 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. You got the good, you got the bad, and you got the ugly. Now, some of you are going to sit here and say, he should be the starting quarterback, that this is your escape route from Geno Smith. And I'm going to just tell you right now, that's ridiculous. Sam Howell is not better than Geno Smith. This is still Geno's team. This is still Geno's job. Just like John Schneider told us a couple of weeks back, that it's Geno's job until somebody says otherwise, right? He is not starting for the Seahawks. He's not taking the job away from Geno. Let's make that very clear. Make that very clear, that he's not taking the job away from Geno unless Geno gets hurt and he balls out and doesn't give the job back. That's the only scenario where Sam Howell wins this job long term. This is still Geno's team. This is still Geno's team. Sam Howell's not going to be the guy to be able to do that, personally speaking. What do you guys think? How would you grade the trade for Sam Howell? I'll give you my grade here in just a second. But I don't like it at all. I can tell you that right now. If you've been watching this show, you pretty much got the right idea. A, B, C, D, or F. What is your grade? Let us know in the comments section. Chime in. Tell me what you think. I'm going a big fat F. This is a terrible trade. And one more point that I want to hammer home as far as this goes when it comes to this trade, folks. I think it's very important of why I give this an F. Justin Fields is still on the market. Could have had Justin Fields. We mentioned the Drew Lock factor. You could have just paid $5 million to keep Drew Lock in town. Why Sam Howell? Sam Howell has no future as a starting quarterback in this league. He ain't that guy. What's the old meme? He ain't that guy. You're not that guy, bro. Sam Howell's not that guy. I give this an F because not only did you give up draft capital, but the other options out there. Why not Justin Fields then? Okay? Why not go ahead and just keep Drew Lock for another year? And then the other thing of potentially now closing the door on drafting a quarterback. You got this great quarterback class this year. Now, you're probably not going to be positioned to get Caleb Williams or Drake May or Jaden Daniels, but a J.J. McCarthy, a Bo Nix, right? A Michael Penix Jr., and you shut down that door. That's the frustration for me. Now, let me make one thing very clear, all right? Before y'all go after my throat and take me out of context and all that, I want to make one thing very clear. I'm still rooting for Sam Howell. I hope Sam Howell has a great career. I hope things go very well for him with the Seattle Seahawks, and I hope he proves me wrong and turns out to be a great option for Seattle and maybe the long-term solution for the Seahawks. I am giving him my full support. I want to see him succeed. But as of now, I got my doubts. Subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today for the latest happenings in your favorite team all off-season long. Man, what an interesting week it's been already. Still more to come. Subscribe now, your Seahawks off-season headquarters, right here on Seahawks Today. We'll see you next time.